Wild west wind, though breath of autumn's being, though from whose unseen presence the leaves they launch even, like pools from an enchanter fleeing, yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence stricken multitudes, oh thou, who charioted to their dark wintry bed. The winged seeds where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse within its grave, until thine as your sister of the spring shall blow her clarion o'er the dreaming earth and fill, driving sweet boats like flocks to feed in air, with living news and odors plain and ill. Wild spirit which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver. The steep skies commotion, loose clouds like earth's decaying leaves are shed, shook from the tidal boughs of heaven and ocean. Angels of rain and lightning, they are spread on the blue surface of thin air research, like the bright hair uplifted from the head of some fierce maynard, even from the dim verge of the horizon to the zenith's height, the locks of the approaching storm, thou dirge of the dying year, to which this closing night will be the dome of a vast sepulchre, vaulted with owl like congregated might of reapers, from whose solid atmosphere black rain and fire and hail will burst. Oh here, oh here. Thou who did Hades ken from his summer dreams, the blue Mediterranean, where he lay lulled by the coil of his crystalline streams, beside a promised island by his bay, and saw in sleep cold palaces and towers, quivering within the waves in tongues a day, all overgrown with azure moss and flowers so sweet, the sense pains picturing them, thou for whose part the Atlantic's level powers cleave themselves these chasms, while far below the sea blooms and the oozy woods which wear the softness foliage of the ocean know thy voice, and suddenly grow grey with flame and trail on the palm and say, oh here. If I were a dead leaf, now my despair, if I were a swift cloud to fly with thee away, to pant beneath thy power and share the impulse of thy strength, only less free than thou, oh uncontrollable, if even I were as in my boyhood and could be the comrade of thy wanderings over for heaven, as then when to outstrip thy skyey speed scarce seemed a vision I would ne'er have strayed, as thus with thee in prayer in my sore need. Oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud, fine fall upon the thoughts of life I bleed. Ah, heavyweight hours was unchained and bowed, one too like thee, tameless and swift and proud.